Welcome to the commissioner's crippling lack of sleep, to the commissioner's questioning of his own sanity. Welcome to the commissioner's case study on sleep deprivation. I was debating whether or not to interrupt my precious nap time and put this video out, but the Monday night rundown gave me just that extra kick of energy I needed to push through. I also figured it'd be nice to go over the final week matchups and talk about some of the playoff scenarios. But first up, that Monday night rundown for the ages. With 3 minutes to go in this game, Kelsey and I were down 15 points. And then the Buccaneers offense finally remembered how to play football, and we got a near walk-off win touchdown with 3 seconds left to play to give us the victory. That's got to be the cherry on top of Brian's birthday celebrations there, and as a little brother, I love to give gifts like that. Also, a little extra note here for a little extra tilt. Brian dropped Cole Kmet on Wednesday. Kelsey and I picked him up on Thursday, plugged him into our lineup, and the difference in tight end points was greater than the margin of victory here in this matchup. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Next up, not much to see here. Another dominating win for Lou as he secures the 1 seed, and Tim is officially eliminated from the playoffs after a surprisingly strong 4-2 start. As I said, no real surprises here. Now, in our closest matchup of the week, we have another Monday night rundown, but one that almost wasn't. Zach only needed 4 points out of Kamara to get the win here and just snuck it out with 4.7. Crikey had 3 players with 20 or more points, Josh Jacobs, Terry McLaurin, and Tyler Lockett, still get the loss here due to an early injury to Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry being completely shut down by the Eagles' defense. This upset by Zach could have huge playoff implications, which I'll go over a little bit later. Remember when Paul was asking for more matchups against Skip and wanted to play him a third time this season? I'm sure that tune has changed after this stomp of the week. Skip continues his comeback on the entire league and finds himself with very good chances of making the playoffs with 1 week to play. Now, in one of the more poetic games of really the entire season, we have Jeff getting Jeffed here by Ryan with 31 points from his defense and over 140 points. He still loses to Ryan. Led by Devontae Adams' outburst and 6 combined touchdowns out of his position players. It's pretty much a culmination of Jeff's season here as he plays well, but just not well enough to get the win. And to emphasize that a little bit more, we can look at the points scored. Jeff has 32 less points than Paul on the season. That's roughly 2.5 points a week different. Paul, with 1 week to play, finds himself a lock. He's in the playoffs, guaranteed. Jeff finds himself at 3-10. Fantasy football is a fickle, fickle mistress. And now last up, we have Brittany with another low score of the week and another big loss. Pretty standard for her season. We also have Brian getting the win here and finding himself right in the midst of the playoff madness with 1 week to play. Talking about that madness. At the top, Lou and Crikey have the buys currently, but if Crikey lose to Lou and Kelsey and I beat Zach in the last week of the season, we will overtake them and get the first round bye. Once again, Zach has a huge ability to play spoiler here. As for the rest of the league, it's just pure chaos. We have 4 teams scrambling for the last 2 playoff spots, and the seeding can pretty much go any which way. Big matchup here between Skip and Brian O'Shea, 2 7-6 teams. Skip wouldn't be eliminated with a loss, but Brian O'Shea would. Other big matchups are Ryan versus Paul, 1 for seeding, and 2 to just determine if Ryan can make it into the playoffs. And then another big matchup between Brittany and Brian to see if Brian can put together a last-minute effort of making it into the playoffs. 5 out of the 6 matchups here are extremely relevant to the playoff scenarios. And then we also have Tim and Jeff playing each other, if anyone was interested in that. Can't wait to see this all unfold in the coming days. I hope you've all been well and well rested. Visitation is open for any and all wanting to come meet the twins. I'll catch you on the next Commissioner's Corner.